will just share my screen and we can proceed with the session.
Hi
Ravi
Jitin.
Tama Ravi Ravi Tamada have an objection. It's like he's saying like I am consuming a lot of YouTube space. No, no, Ravi, but YouTube have a big servers, right? So no issue there.
Hi Jitin, Nikhil here.
Yeah, Nikhil, hi.
Hi. So, on which YouTube channel can I get this content?
So basically, we have a Surat Meetup YouTube channel, right? And like you
Okay.
can get those content from there.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
So let me quickly start with the session. So I hope everybody can see my screen.
Yes, Jackie. Am I audible clearly? Loud and clear
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
So guys, welcome to Surat MuleSoft Meetup 37. And topic for today's meetup is Anypoint monitoring with MuleSoft on-premise runtime. So Gaurav Shetty will showcase you some use cases or like some demonstration where how to set up Anypoint monitoring on on-premise server. And let me start with some safe harbor statement. So basically, both speaker and host are organizing this meetup in the individual capacity. Here, we are not representing any companies or any organization. This presentation is completely or strictly for the learning purpose, and like we are not holding any responsibility that same solution will work for your business requirement. And this presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. Okay, there are few housekeeping. So recording of this meetup will be uploaded to event page within 24 hours. So you can get the recording from the event page, and you can submit the question at any time. You can ask the question at any time. We have enabled the like mic for everyone, so they can definitely speak in between, and even they can use the chat window to put the question. So we will monitoring the chat window, and like if anything there, we will definitely answer those things. Then finally you need to give a feedback. So you need to rate this meetup session by filling the feedback form at the end of the day. So generally you will get a feedback mail where you will get a link. You just have to click on that link and you need to provide the feedback. So the feedback is very important for us, and it give a opportunity to us for future improvements. So myself, me and Nitish is the organizer for the Surat MuleSoft meetup. Nitish, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, Jackie. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Surat MuleSoft Meetup 37. I'm Nitish Jain, co-leader with Jackie Bafna for Surat Meetup. I'm MuleSoft mentor, all MuleSoft certified developer architect. I'm working for Accenture in Bangalore, holding 3.5 years of experience. Thank you.
Yeah. So myself, Jitender, I'm working senior solution architect at EPAM system and having around 14 plus years of experience in APIs and integration. And like yeah, I'm MuleSoft ambassador and leading various meetup groups. Yeah, that's all about me. I will not take much of your time in the introduction. I will directly go to the speaker. Gaurav Sethi will be the speaker for today's session. He's one of the best speaker, like, and he will give he will going to explain you on about any point monitoring. So Gaurav, can you take the session from here? I will stop my sharing and you can share your screen.
Sure. Thank you, Jackie, for the opportunity. Hi, everyone. My name is Gaurav Sethi, and I'm working in CSG International as a senior integration specialist. So I have more than 7 years experience in API integrations, working as a MuleSoft mentor and MuleSoft leader. Thank you. And now we are just coming to the presentation part. Please let me know once my screen is visible.
Yes, we can see your screen. You can
Sure. Thank you. So today's agenda is our MuleSoft Anypoint monitoring for on-prem server. So before going to the introduction of Anypoint monitoring, can anyone explain what is Anypoint monitoring, why we are using Anypoint monitoring, why the performance is required? Anyone? Okay, no issues. So we are coming to Anypoint monitoring part. So to understand the system and infrastructure, it is very important to understand the services. So Anypoint monitoring is part of Anypoint platform, which provide a very clean and neat and clean picture how the integrations between the app networks are happening. And it is a tool which will provide the feedback from mule flows and components in a network. So why we are using the monitoring part? So if we will see operational and development team, they both are using the monitoring tool to identify the issues and describe how it is used to identify and how we can resolve the issues, how it is impacting to our performance. So it is the tool which we are using. So the Anypoint tool, which is designed to reduce the time to identify the issues, resolve the issues, or aggregate the metrics, visualization format. So these are all are the basic part of the Anypoint monitoring. In other words, if I will say, Anypoint monitoring provide the unparalleled visibility, which help us to proactively identify the issues and reduce the mean time to resolution. Okay, and if I will say, in other words, in very common terms, so it is the bridge between our application performance monitoring and log management. So this is the Anypoint monitoring, where in the integration monitoring tool, developers, architectures, or any DevOps engineer, so they have the visibility across all the Mule runtimes, APIs, integration, and all other runtime services, where we can achieve three things: reduce the mean time to resolution, increase the uptime, and improve the data driven business and technical decisions. So this is regarding the performance monitoring and Anypoint monitoring. So this is
Gaurav,
the
sorry to interrupt. Can you please go on presentation mode?
sure. This is the monitoring dashboard. We can see once we will open the Anypoint monitoring, it will looks like something this. We can identify how many inbound requests are there, how many outbound requests are there, what is the average response time, how much CPU utilization we used, what is the memory utilization, thread count, cache counts. So these all things we can use in the monitoring dashboard. So this is the one thing. The second thing is, before going to the Anypoint monitoring for on-prem server, we need to install on-prem in our server. If on-prem server is there, then only we can proceed for the monitoring part. So before doing the next slide, install Anypoint monitoring, we will do one thing. I hope in the meetup session, one link was provided to download the standalone server. I hope everyone is installed that standalone server, because in this session, we will install the standalone server. We will create one hello world example. We will run that example. Then we will identify the monitoring. Okay. I'm just stopping the PPT part. So everyone downloaded the MuleSoft standalone server. If not, then please download, because we are going this step by step process. This is a standalone server. Once we will see the standalone server, there are many folders. First thing, how we will start the standalone server. Once we have downloaded this server, we'll just go inside that and open the terminal. We can see we have multiple folders. In this, we will go inside the bin folder. Inside the bin folder, we can see multiple files are there. We need to start our server with this command. Okay. If it is Linux, we will use this command. If it is Windows, we will use batch file mule.bat. Now the server is initiating the process. We can see the server is running, and this is the process ID for this. If we want to check the status of server, we should use this command. The server is running, and we have the process ID for this as well. So now we verified how to start the server and how to verify the status of the server. Now we have verified the server is started successfully and the status is up and running. Okay. Once the server is started, we need now, we are doing the hybrid model of the deployment. So we need one Anypoint platform account as well. We will just log in with our account. You can use any trial account as well. We are good for the trial account as well. Once the trial account is there, we are able to log in. We will go to servers. We'll create node for, we will add the server for this. Now we are giving the name Meetup Surat. We, when we have given the name, we can see the AMC setup command is ready. So we need to copy this command. Once the command is copied, we will copy that command and we will run this command in standalone server bin folder. Command is not copied. Once the command is copied, we will trigger. The mule server is already configured. Remove the server in the list. Okay. This is the trial account. We already have one server. Server is already there, so we need to remove that server. We can see the Mule agent configured successfully. The server is created. Let me restart the Mule server. When we need to restart, there is a command Mule and then option is restart. So server is restarted. We can see server is running and we got the PID. Now we are going to Anypoint platform and we can see the server is attached and it is running. But inside that server, we can see there is no application deployed yet. We need to deploy one application as well. Before going to the next step, guys, if you have any doubt, any question, guys? Okay, no questions. We are proceeding. Now we need to create one Hello World application. We'll open the Anypoint Studio. Guys, meanwhile, if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to ping and please try to do this example parallelly. And if you have any issues, we can discuss now. We are creating the Hello World example.
Hi Gaurav, one question here.
Yep. Yes,
So alerting or this we can only do tracking. We can only do for the on-premise service servers or uh,
Nikhil, your voice is breaking.
okay, sorry. I'm saying that monitoring we can do only on on-premise servers only.
No, for the Cloud Hub, the monitoring is already available. We can go for the monitoring for Cloud Hub. We can add the applications directly. But for the on-prem servers or hybrid servers, we have to install the plugin manually. It is not default available. Default
Ah,
service
okay,
is not available.
correct. Okay.
We are creating very simple example with one listener and one logger.
Hey, Gaurav, sorry, I joined the session slightly late, so I'm just revising whatever I understand. So, if we have this this on-prem Mule runtime, we need to install this additional agent, right? That is what
Yes.
okay,
The reason behind is Cloud Hub. For the Cloud Hub application, the MuleSoft is providing a monitoring tool service by default. So we can go to the monitoring tab and we can select the environment and we can create the we can select the application. For example, we are just going to monitoring. If any application, if any Cloud Hub application is there, we can go, we can select the environment and we can select the resource. As of now, we can see there is no resource because there the Cloud Hub applications are not there. But for the on-prem applications, which we are doing, how we will monitor that infrastructure part, JVM, inbound request, outbound request, what is the response time, average response time. To identify these things, we need to install the additional plugin, Anypoint monitoring. For that, we have just created the hybrid server, and now we are creating the Hello World application. We will deploy this application, and we will show that Anypoint monitoring will have the for the same application which is deployed on-prem.
got it. Okay, so now going forward means I have worked on on-prem, but some time back. At that time also we have this kind of gaps. So just wanted to understand. So this is the new thing that is what MuleSoft have came up with, right?
This is from, I think, from last 6 months we have
Correct. Yeah,
this
maybe
feature.
yeah, 6 months. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now we need to install two things. One is the runtime agent, sorry, the runtime JVM that we normally do, and additionally on top of it, we need to install the agent as well. Correct?
Yes,
Okay,
and
got it.
Nikunj,
once
like,
we
yeah, Gaurav, go on.
will install this, we will install one AM plugin as well.
Sorry, which plugin?
AM, Anypoint monitoring.
Okay,
We will
okay,
go for the next step.
okay,
Sorry, Jitendra, please continue.
Niku is like, you need to consider something like performance. Definitely, once you install this EM agent, right, it will degrade the performance also. So, like,
okay,
you need to do the sizing in such a way after installing the agent, it should not degrade the performance, like, so that you
okay,
consider it.
got it. Okay, okay. Yeah, because this was a gap initially. I'm talking almost like 1 year back or maybe 2 years back. We never used to have this kind of a agent, right?
I think it was there actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I've
New
done like,
Okay,
I set
Mule
up one
agent
year
was
back.
there.
okay. Maybe then I'm not aware about this one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Gaurav, you can.
We are just running the application.
So Gaurav, did you install both the things, runtime in the agent both? Did you do that?
Only server I have installed.
Not the agent
AMC
yet, right?
setup. AMC setup
Uh,
is done.
okay. So you are going to install that monitoring agent now, right?
Just deploying the application. So what I have
Okay.
done is quickly. I have. I went to runtime manager. From runtime manager, I have the servers options. From the servers, I have selected the add server. Once I have clicked, I have given a server name. I have copied the AMC setup command, and from our standalone server, I went to bin folder. Inside the bin folder, I have triggered this command. The AMC setup will be done.
Perfect. Yeah. So only this much has been done now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Once
Got
the
it.
AMC setup is done, just application restarted. It will be visible on the cloud.
Perfect. Okay. Okay.
Now the
So Nikunj, like
application.
there is a initial requirement. Like if your server is not registered in Anypoint platform, right? You cannot enable this Anypoint monitoring. The first thing, the server must be registered in your Anypoint platform to enable the Anypoint monitoring.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, got it. Yeah, that is what I was trying to understand, that Gaurav have not yet installed that additional agent, right? That is what I wanted to check. Okay. Also, Chitindra, just out of the topic question, I think you have already answered on the chat. So, is anybody from the Accenture in this group right now?
Nitish is the Nitish is from Accenture only.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Nikunj, tell me.
Yeah, Nitesh, I have recently joined Accenture, man, so I'm not aware
Okay,
about that. So,
okay.
do you have this idea? Anybody who can I contact in the Accenture for to get the access to catalyst.mulesoft.com?
Sure, sure. We can connect offline. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Also, guys, like I will give some more information till Gaurav is running the application. So basically, like whenever you enable your Anypoint monitoring on on-premise server, so basically the whatever metrics you can see on Anypoint monitoring, that will be not 100% real time. So there will be some difference of some seconds, basically, like at least, because what happens, so agent running on your server, EM agent, and which will send the logs basically to Anypoint monitoring, and that will be sent periodically. So there you cannot like see them at a real time. There will be minor gap, or minor difference. What happened, like Gaurav, application port?
The port was binded, so I have updated the port and rerunning the application.
Okay, so guys, take the opportunity to ask the question if you have any question, so till the application is running.
Yeah, Jackie, I do have questions. Sorry, I was have lost a touch with the MuleSoft since like almost 6 months now.
Mm.
So wanted to check with you a couple of things. Like, uh, after going through this chat, I came to know about this catalyst.mulesoft.com. What is this portal all about? If you just give us some brief idea.
Yeah, okay. I will tell you now. This has been changed to Knowledge Hub portal. Okay, even you just type this catalyst.mulesoft.com, it will automatically redirect to you knowledgehub.com, basically knowledgehub.mulesoft.com. So basically, this is the place where you can find all the documentation about best practices, about how to set up the C4E, how to set up the CI/CD pipeline. So you can find lot of information, lot of documentation. It's a hub like from the MuleSoft side. So and like anybody have a Anypoint platform account in the partner Anypoint platform, right? You can simply log in into that knowledge hub with that particular account, and you can access this many documentation or many content from there. So you will find best practice templates, like what is the CI/CD best practice, what is RAML best practice, what is code best practice. Like there are various code review checklist. There are many things available there, and so how to say, like C4E operating model, C4E structure, like C4E charter, those kind of things you will find there. Lot of things there.
Okay, so going to the catalyst.com will direct me to the knowledgehub.com, and I need to have a partner's account to get the access to this portal, right?
Yeah, so basically every
Okay,
partner have a Anypoint platform like MuleSoft provide, right? So you simply have to create, or you have to register in that partner Anypoint platform. Once you have done that, then you can use that same account to log in into that Catalyst.
got it. Okay, Catalyst will take me to the knowledge hub then.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
can
Okay,
provide the URL for Knowledge Hub directly also.
okay. So both are same, right? Catalyst and knowledge are both are same URL in
Like
short.
see, initially it is known as a catalyst.mulesoft.com. Now they have changed it to Knowledge Hub. They have like it's a knowledgehub.mulesoft.com now.
Oh, okay, okay,
So let me ping that URL also.
okay. Because I do have Anypoint account, but that is my own trial account, so I don't think I will get the access to using that account, right?
No, 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 no. It's for a partner. Basic partner can access those things. Like you cannot log in with your Anypoint trial account. You
Got
cannot
it.
do that.
Okay,
I've never tried that, but that is mostly for partner, like knowledge of, right? It's for
got it.
partners and customers, basically mules of customers.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll get in touch with Nitish after this call and just try to see how to get the access for the Accenture. Then, yeah.
Yeah. We can see the application is deployed successfully. Once the application is deployed, we are just going to that application path. We are going to the target folder. We'll copy the jar file, and the same, uh, we can either note down the path, or we can just copy from the apps folder to deploy that, or we are just going to the application now. We are going to server. As of now, there is no application deployed. We are giving the name of the application. Now we have two options. One is Cloud Hub and another is Meetup Surat Demo, the server which we have installed. So we are going for Meetup Surat Demo. We need to select the file. Where is our application? Anypoint Studio Meetup Surat. Select the jar file. If we need insights, we can add that. There is no property required. We are just applying the application. Now, now you can see we are deploying the application from cloud, but the application space will take from our on-prem server. This is just a way how we are deploying from cloud, but it is not the application is taking space from cloud. So it is deploying in our on-prem server. We can see the application is started. To confirm that, we'll go to apps. We can see the application is placed, and once the application is there, it is started. We can verify the same. The application is running. There is two way to identify. One is we will just go to that. We have switched on the insights. We can see insight. It will just slide taking time. Parallelly, we can go to the logs folder. From the logs, we can see the example one which we have installed just now. That file is created for log file. We can see application initiated. It is triggered. To cross verify, we will run once again. Going to the logs, we'll see now the logs are coming twice. It means the application is deployed successfully. Once the application is up and running, for this application, we need to verify Anypoint monitoring. Is monitoring is coming for this application because this is deployed on on-prem server. We have selected the environment, but it is showing there is no resource found in this environment. Now, to install that server, we will go to the settings. There are three options: Cloud Hub, Hybrid, Runtime Fabric. So runtime fabric is not enabled for that. We can go for that as well. If the option is enabled for us, if we are going for that. But now at this case, we are going for the hybrid. We have installed the hybrid one. We are going to the environment. You can select your server is visible or not. Yes, server is visible. Then we need to download the am.zip file. Either you can download from here. The best way is we need to download always the latest version. I have already downloaded. Or we have the S3 bucket path as well. We can go and directly download from there as well. We'll share the path as well. Once we will download this, we will unzip that. We have downloaded the AM folder. Inside that AM also we have bin, config, file bit, lib, and module folders. Okay, we will copy this AM folder and we will paste inside the Anypoint Studio. It's pasted. Sorry. Inside Mule. Once it is installed, please update the access for this. We require the admin access to install the AM setup. If you're using the Linux, please provide 755 access, or if you're using Windows, you can provide the same 755, or you can run in the administration mode. Okay. Once we have pasted the same AM folder inside this, we will go. We'll Open the terminal. The first command to run is cd bin install. We need to install. Now it is asking, do you want to use monitoring as a service? Yes. It will ask for your system password if you're using. Once it is configured successfully, the second command will be setup. We will set up the same.
So, Gaurav, one question over here. So, the steps that you are doing right now to install this AM, do we need to do it each and for each and every application, or
It's not
it is?
for,
Go
it is only for the servers, not for each and every application. If we have one server, in that server, if we have 10 applications, we have to do this step only once while we install the new server.
Got it. Okay.
Same thing we can see if we have the Linux, we have to do that install. We have to run the install command. If it is Windows, we will go for install.ps1. And the same if it is for when we are doing the setup, if for Linux we have to use setup, and for Windows we have to use setup.ps1. Just taking time, maybe it's not identifying the server file. Let me restart the Anypoint. We are restarting the MuleSoft server. When we are restarting the server, application will also start automatically. The server is running. We'll go and we will do the setup. Now the setup is also done successfully. We can see connect to ingest is okay. Now we have to start this service. The AM service is installed. It is set up successfully. We need to start this service. To start this service, we can see the command. So AM service start. We are starting this service. Once the service is started, post that it will take 5 to 10 minutes. It will take 5 to 10 minutes to appear the metrics, Anypoint metrics in Anypoint monitoring tab. So we can see sandbox is there, but it is showing no server. It will take 5 to 10 minutes to visible that server here. So meanwhile, we will just run the application. We will verify the logs. It is installed successfully. There is no issue in the application side. Once log is there, yeah, logs are there. We will go and verify after 5 minutes. The monitoring tab will be available. So, is there any question, guys? Any question? Any doubt? The same.
Can we do
This
the
is
monitoring at application level? And like, I want to check the performance of this specific application. It's taking like memory utilization, high performance. How can here it's a server based on the runtime you're doing, right? Performance metrics.
yeah. Based on the you want this monitoring only for one application from one server. Like if the 10 applications are there, but you need only for one application, is it?
Yes, 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 yes.
From we cannot perform only for one specific application. At least we have to install that AMC setup.
Mm-hmm.
Without that setup, it is not possible. It is not feasible. So if that server is linked, suppose that either you can verify for one application or you can go and verify for 10 application. This is on your hand. But for
Oh, okay.
specifically that application, we cannot install at application level.
Gaurav, once the monitoring starts publishing on this Anypoint platform, right?
Yeah,
So the metrics that you see, since I'm not able to visualize it, so I'm just asking this vague question. So once the metrics starts getting published on this Anypoint monitoring platform, how this metrics gets bifurcated? As what you rightly said, if we have 10 applications, how the metrics will get displayed at the application level, or it will be the aggregation of all?
it will be application level. Once the monitoring tab will come, I will show you at like we have selected the environment and resource will be available, and then we can change the application side. Give me 5 to 10 minutes. We will come back to this dashboard. We will not leave in this meetup now. We will come back after 5 minutes and we will go and we will check the logs for this application. And I will show how we can switch between the applications and the environments as well.
So can you do one more favor? Sorry to ask you this one. Can you deploy one more application on your JVM?
Okay,
Yeah, just say
sure.
something. Yeah, just give some vague name, and anyways we need to wait, right?
Yeah,
Just say buy world instead of hello world.
sure.
Yeah,
I already have an application. Let
fantastic.
me
Yeah,
install that application.
okay. Yeah, so just to we all can visualize, right? Because we all
Yeah,
have the same questions, right? Yeah, thanks.
sure. The application is running. We will verify this log as well. Request
I think you
received.
should the port number to 8082.
Yeah, you can see the application is running. Two times logs are there. If you need, I can just hit once again. The logs are updated. Now the two applications are there on the server. One is localhost 8081 port inside, and another is localhost 8082. This is example one. So once our application monitoring will be available, we will see these two applications.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. One is on 8081 and 8082, right? These are the two listener ports, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks.
So meanwhile, what we will do, we will just go to presentation part and we will complete the presentation part. Verify it's visible or not. Not yet.
I think we have changed the port number to 8082, right? So why are we now using 8081?
Two ports are there, 8081 and 8082. Two ports are there. This is just a header part of that port. 8082, 8081. So we have seen the how to do the setup Now, this is basic part how we have done the installation of on-prem. We uh, we have gone to the monitoring tab. Inside the monitoring, we have selected the environment and we have selected the resource. Once the resource was there, we went to the settings tab and we go for the hybrid options. From the hybrid, we have downloaded the AM plugin. So this is the S3 bucket path where we can download the AM setup directly. No need to go from the application side. We'll just click on this and the jar file, zip file will be downloaded. But the best practice is like now we are using this. This is example of 2.5.10.0. If any latest version is coming, we always go for the latest version. So this is the best practice. Once we have downloaded the AM folder, we have unzipped that and we have moved into the Mule home folder. Inside the Mule for home folder, we have triggered the inside the AM folder, we have done the install part first. Once the installation is done successfully, then we have done the setup part. Once the setup is done, post that 5 minutes, the Anypoint monitoring option will be visible. So that is the complete example. Is there any question, guys? Any doubts? Any questions?
Yeah, hi Gaurav.
Yep.
Yeah, so till now you have given a demonstration on how to setting effects. So can you help us with a use case like how can we use it for reducing time in finding and resolving issues?
Sure. So this is okay. This is not okay. Give me 5 minutes. Once the resource will be available, we'll just go. So meanwhile, we will just cover. This is a built-in dashboard, which will be available by default for any application. But if we require to create our own dashboard, we can create the custom dashboard as well. If we want to create a custom dashboard, we will go to the custom dashboard, create a new dashboard. We need to select which kind of dashboard we want to create, either graph or single stat, table, text. So that we have to select. There is no data point. We have created a graph. For that, we have to select the data points. As of now, we don't have any application. Once the application will be installed, we can select, like we can configure for that application, which one we require, what is the panel name, which is the application type, all the things we can set that. We need average count, request count, average response time. That specific graph we can create based on our own requirement, because some of the client we cannot give the complete access to built-in dashboard to the clients. We will create custom dashboard, and based on this dashboard we will provide access to client, so they will access only the thing which is we are providing them to them. So they are not able to access all dashboards. They will just provide the custom dashboards which we are providing access. And a part of the dashboard part, we have the alerts option as well. So I think everyone knows about the alert parts. We can create some basic alerts. We can select the alert name, severity of the alerts like info, warning, or critical. We can select that. If our it is on environment like servers, then we can select the server. If this is on cloud, application cloud, we can select that applications. And there are different kind of alerts. Message count, CPU utilization is more, memory utilization is more. Like for the 5 minutes, CPU utilization is more than 80% for least 5 minutes. Then only the alert will trigger. If it is only once in 5 minutes, it won't trigger. Means if at least 5 minutes the CPU utilization is going more than 80%, in that case it will trigger. And we can select the subject and message and recipient list based on a requirement.
For
And
alerts, it's not required any AM software to be installed, or it doesn't require,
no, 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 no,
which is
no need to
not
install. Yeah.
no need. No,
If it is on cloud hub, if you are doing on server side, on that time AMC setup is required, no? If we how the server will make a link between cloud hub and on-prem directly.
We
Using
already
for
installed
that,
agent.
yeah, if AMC is installed, then we can use. If AMC is not installed, that then it is not possible for on-prem.
Okay.
And this is not a titanium subscription. If we have the titanium subscription, we will able to see one more option here, that is called logs. So what is the use of that logs here? So if we want to search the log search queries we want to use, in that case that will be visible. So if we have the titanium subscription, we can get the logs here where there are different kind of filters available. We can use filter based on the application side, class side, environment side, or we can use some operators like is available to all, filter available, not, is between, that all the options will also available, but that is available only on titanium subscriptions. Monitoring is taking time.
Yeah, Gaurav, can we check the agent log if the agent is doing something? The AM
Yeah,
agent.
yeah.
Can you start the JVM? Can we start the JVM once?
EM is running. We can see that file bit UUID is created successfully, but it is just taking a time.
So Gaurav, one question over here, since this is a very good use case. So you said that we need to wait for 5 minutes. So in case if I want to customize my interval, how frequently I want to publish my stats to any point monitoring platform from my on-prem server, is this the configurable option?
This is the first time it is taking time. Once the server is installed successfully here, once the server is available, it will not take time. If you will install any other application, it will visible on the spot.
No, no, that is right. I got your point. What I'm trying to ask you is, say for example, I don't want to publish my metrics quite often to the Anypoint platform. Okay.
Okay.
So is there
Okay.
any way that I can control my agent and tell him, hey, don't publish my metrics so often to the monitoring dashboard. Publish it every hour. It's not that critical. Can I do that?
For that, what we can do, That is a custom part. This is
Correct.
possible. For that, what we have to do, we are updating these logs into file bits, and from that file bit we are updating that. In that case, we have to update the file bit files where we are sending the where we are sending that interval on the spot. It is taking a slight delay. In that case, we have to take the logs, push into an sqsq. From that sqsq we can push after 1 hour.
Push it where, but who is going to pick up from SQSQ?
We will push into file bit in the Anypoint monitoring file bit. We have to push manually.
Okay. Okay.
So this process is manually we have to do, because we are
Yeah.
using file bit now as well. In that case, we have to push into sqsq. From sqsq we have to set the interval which will send the logs to file bit based on our condition.
Okay. So again, it will be like a cloud. Again, I have to involve the cloud component over there, right? Okay.
Yes. Jackie, please suggest if you have any better option for this.
See, like is a some way like you can increase the interval, right? So there are some options available in like em folder. So I'm just checking, I have done in past somewhere like where we can go and increase that intervals for sending the logs, to any point monitoring. That is possible. The other thing, like if you decrease the interval, like in that case it will degrade the performance very badly. So make sure if you are sending the log so frequently to any point monitoring, right? So it may degrade the performance very badly also. So I've seen that, so make sure like it's better to keep whatever default is there, so because like whatever MuleSoft has kept, they have done a lot of investigation, and then they have like come up with that particular time interval. So better to go with that approach also. And I feel like other approach, there is a manual which has been showcased by Gaurav just now. Like you upload everything to S3, from S3 you can upload to monitoring. Like I'm just searching where you can increase that time. I was searching that file, so there is a way actually somewhere. Let me check that.
Yeah, Gaurav, because why I'm asking you this question, right? Say, for example, if you're working with the PICCI data, right? The credit card data, right? In that scenario, your client will not allow you to push any logs to this S3 buckets or SQSQs.
Then again, hey, this is Hitesh. Then why we are sending all those logs to the Anypoint monitoring hosted on the
N-
cloud? Then
No,
then
no,
we
no,
can
no.
go for the appliances model, like
Yeah,
Splunk or
that's
ELK.
correct. Now, coming to that question, that was my next question. So, what all the data that we push to the hybrid cloud? It's not the client data, right?
Sorry, I mean, can you come again?
Okay. Okay. Say, for example, I have an API. My voice is getting echoed. Can
Yes, Nikunj.
Yeah. So what I was trying to understand is the information that has been pushed to the cloud. Okay. Like, say, for example, what we are doing right now, we are just publishing the data, which is not the client specific data, which is not the business data, right? It is the only data that is needed by the Anypoint platform to monitor the performance of the application. You got the point, right? It will not publish the client data, right? That is what is my
So okay,
understanding.
okay, no, no, no. Whatever logging methodology will be implemented under the applications, the similar data it will be logged under ELK or Splunk. Whatever is a common logging framework we have, attached is capturing into the log the single one you are going to.
So you mean to say even the
It's
client
not.
data will push to the monitoring log? Is it?
What is your log? What is your logging methodology?
Okay, that is what I'm saying. So we see, for example, I have a Mule server on my on-prem. we have a Splunk agent right now. What the Splunk agent does is it blindly absorbs the log from this log files and publish it to the Splunk dashboard. That is what has been done right now. Okay. Now going forward, if we
It's not
Claudia.
picking the data from the on-prem and publishing into the Splunk. No. Okay. On the Splunk side, we have to control it as well. Certain rule want to not publish some certain applications log that you can also control over there. It's not
Correct,
like
correct. Yeah,
if
that
you
is
are
what I'm saying you.
there you
Yeah,
can
so now coming forward,
there is
correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there are two scenarios now. We are already having some JVMs on-prem. We already have applications running on that JVMs. We have Splunk agent installed on that particular servers, which is grabbing the log and pushing to the Splunk dashboard. Okay, up till that we are good. Now going forward, if we install this monitoring agent on the same server, it will also pick up the statistics data, right? From that JVM and it will push it to the Anypoint platform.
Correct. If
Correct? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that means my data is going outside my data center. Okay.
But but as a business or as a organization or corporate, you implicitly install here VM. I mean your hybrid servers, right?
Correct. Correct.
That's what
Yeah.
listening to the cloud. That's what I said. If you want to control,
I mean,
don't
just
data into the cloud endpoint platform. You can come back and you have to restrict with your with Splunk or Elegant.
just a minute, like let me add, like it's not sending any data outside, right? It will only send the metadata. It is not
Correct.
going to send your sensitive data outside to any point monitoring. It is just collecting the statistics, that is the metadata, and only metadata will be published to any point monitoring. Okay, so just there's a difference between data and metadata. So when you say data, so you are talking about the application data. When you say metadata, so it will be like it will be mostly a CPU utilization, like memory utilization, number of threads running, those kind of things, and those are all metadata, and those are not that sensitive information.
Exactly. That was my question. Yeah, exactly. So because now after putting this agent, the very first question that will be raised by my security architect is the same thing. That hey, if I'm pushing my data to the cloud, it is going to go outside the data centers. And what you rightly said, I can tell them, hey, it's not the application data, it's the metadata, which has nothing to do with the application, but it only contains the information like CPU utilization, memory utilization, and so on. Right?
Yeah, yeah. You will not say
Exactly.
the how, like
Exactly.
what is your request message, what is your
But
response message. You will not going to see those things.
Exactly. That is what was I was trying to
but this is
understand. Yeah. Because if that is the case, then this will go away then. They will rule out. Yeah.
Jiten, we are having a certain common logging method where we are capturing those logs, capturing those our output. Sorry, what is the application status? Basically, logging onto the applications level, and same need to be published on, right? It's totally depend upon your logging capabilities. What kind of logging capabilities?
Yeah. No, so you have see here we have a discussion on AM agent. Like we are not discussing on like we will explicitly send a log to the anypoint monitoring. We are that is not a point right now. The point is that what data will collected by AM agent. That is the point, right, Nikunj?
Correct. Correct.
We are not
Yeah.
talking about like logins and all those things. That's a different, altogether different topic, right? Even like when you are registering the server, right? So in any point platform, right? So it will also not going to process any data. It will also only keep metadata basically. So it's everything is secure basically. Like you can see like whenever you are registering your server into any point platform, you can see the CPU utilization, JVMs, and like memory uses of that particular server. That will be at a server level, and it will just collect the server metadata, not a data again. Okay, When it comes to AM agent, it is also doing the same thing. It will be collecting the metadata application wise, right? And it will publish those metadata to Anypoint monitoring. And like somebody is talking about logging. Logging is something else different. Like it's a altogether different concept. Here we are talking about the agent, and like agent which we are installing on Anypoint platform, on your on-premise server. So the security team will ask the question like what kind of data will be collected by this agent. Then your answer should be your metadata. Like it will not going to collect any your request and response message. It will not going to do that, right? It will be simply collecting a metadata and matrices. That's it.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. This is Hitesh, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Hitesh, I'll just give you one example. Yeah, why I was asking this question is I think still we have some time. So we have this credit card processing company called FinServe. Okay, what happened is that we have this MuleSoft engine running on our on-premises data center at the back end, and it communicates with the FinServe. And the request to the FinServe is so huge that sometimes the API responses are having we are having lot of latency in that. Okay, so as of now, this particular API is installed on our on-premise servers. Okay, now monitoring was the challenge. So right now, what we were trying to do is we were trying to do some kind of alerting and monitoring in the Splunk logs because I was not aware about this particular concept till date. So now what we can do is we can propose this solution to my architect team. And the very first question is they will ask me, as what rightly Jitendra pointed out, Nikunj, what is the data your agent, your AM agent is going to pick up and will push it to the cloud? The moment I say it is going to pick up the request and the response from the FinServe, they will completely ask me to rule out this option. But if I say no, it is just going
Sorry.
to give the metadata. Yeah,
Hey, Nikhil,
please.
sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you here. Sorry to
Mhm,
interrupt you. It's
mhm.
okay. It's a small applications. We don't have anything like the separate logging mechanism. Okay, that is not a scope of discussion at this moment in the AM. But if you are considering the whole applications, if you are without applications and API, there will be separate logging mechanism. If those logging mechanism will be there, then definitely your request and response will be all cloud. I mean the monitoring. You cannot stop those also. So for those you have to
Okay.
restrict it for the login
Mhm.
mechanism. Okay, so I
Correct.
mean
But
that
that is
what you
what
are
we are.
saying, I
Mhm,
complete.
mhm.
What is your requirement? I completely understand, but I'm we have more than 500 applications are there on the on-prem. Okay, on the one in
Mhm.
we can see the response and request totally depend upon the the and that's why we have the
Oh, from the
appliances
Anypoint
model,
platform.
Splunk and
Mhm.
ELK where where we are controlling those sort of security stuff which cloud.
Okay, your use case is completely different than bro. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was a great discussion, guys. Gaurav, please take.
Yeah, sure. So guys, you can see we can have that option resources names. First we select the environment and two applications are there. We can see the two applications now. We are going for the first application. We'll go to the view for that specific application. We have the dashboard ready for this application. We can see the overview where we have the mule messages, average response time, errors, request, inbound request, outbound request by response times, heap used. So this is the overview of that dashboard. If we want to go for specifically only for the inbound request, we have only for the inbound request dashboards. That request by time, request by response time, response type, count as well. How many inbound requests there? How many outbound requests are there? inbound and outbound both have the different requests. You can see inbound total request by response time, this average response time, and here we can see how much time it is taking, the average time, minimum time, and maximum. We can see how many times the hit is done for this endpoint. So these are the details for the inbound, and same for the outbound as well. The same outbound request type just based on the response time, based on the endpoint. Then we are coming to the performance tab. The performance tab will include the mule messages, average response time, the HTTP endpoints, and if we want to go for failure, only for the failure request, we will go to the failure tab. And two important tabs are there: JVM and infrastructure. JVM will give all the information regarding the garbage collector or regarding the loaded classes, heap heap committed, heap used, JVM update, uptime, thread count, and regarding the cache. All the details will be available into the JVM side. All the JVM related information. And from the infrastructure side, we are coming. We can see the system processes, CPU utilization, and all the other things we can get from the infra. So this is the view of this specific application of one. If we want to go for another, we have the drop down here. We will select the another application from this. So I think Nikunj, you got your answer. How we will see the dashboard of different applications view.
Yeah, Gaurav, just one more question over here. So say for example, if I have 10 JVMs, each JVMs contains 20 applications. So how this will get displayed then? It will be on per applications or per JVM? How is the list being shown over
From
here?
this, it will show as per the application side. From this dashboard, we are selecting based on the application side. It will show based on the application how much it is used.
No, no, I got your point. Okay. So say for example, I think Hitesh had said, right, if we have 500 applications deployed on separate JVMs, okay. So I'll get the list of whole 500 applications in the drop down. I can't filter per JVM and then the app, right? I can't do
For
this kind of filtering.
for that, we have to create our custom dashboard where we
Uh-huh.
can do for these applications.
Okay.
So we have to select our graph. We have to select our configuration. Based on our configuration, we can select the applications. What the condition is required, which applications are required.
Okay, got it. So it's on the applications and not on the JVMs and then on the applications. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question, guys? If there is no question, then Jackie, it's hand over to you.
Jackie, it's hand over to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
What is the minimum recourse required to deploy the applications here? Any recourse on the on-prem?
How much? Please repeat your question.
Please repeat your question.
The
Recourse here to deploy the application.
as of now, I'm just running in local. I have not set up any vCourse. It's completely depend on our on-prem setup and licensing part. Like if we have purchased that specific license, or we are doing for on-prem, we are not using the vCourse. This is on-prem for that on-prem. If our application is deployed on server, we can use that.
It is like it is not going to
I believe
consume
we
any
need to
extra course, like any extra course basically.
we need to associate
Extra course, basically.
we need to associate some platinum subscribers
No.
or the gold subscriber. We need to
No,
associate some
why you will
recourse.
assign recourse to monitoring? I don't think you have to.
Monitoring.
No, not monitor.
No, no,
but
like
it's
you
not
you
working.
never assign any. Wait, Hitesh, can you please go on mute? I can answer your question. Generally, on premise, you don't assign the v course, or you don't assign the course. Basically, we don't call it a v course on premise. You assign the course at a server level, and on those core you can deploy as many application you want, right? But like you need to consider performance also, like how many application you can deploy on the course, basically 2 cores or 3 cores. So generally you are allocating a course at a server level, not at the application level on premise, right? And it does, like when you are setting up the am application. Can you please go on mute this? You're okay. And for when you deploy application on cloud up, then you assign many vcores you want to assign to application. Point one vcore or point two vcore, or from point two to directly you have to assign one vcore. Basically, right? The vcore is concept is in the is in cloud application. And if you want to enable the anypoint monitoring for your application deployed to the cloud up, there is a one property which you need to make it true. And like so if you've done that, it will automatically start sending the log to anypoint monitoring for that particular cloud of application. Okay.
But I believe still we need to assign some code on the server level. Not I'm asking about the applications. Big model when you are having some appliances model, like the Linux box. Then we need to assign some codes there.
So definitely, I told you, right? We assign the code at a server level. I told that, right?
Right. Same questions. I think I put it into the chat. I mean, on the server level. I'm not talking on the application.
Definitely. See, your license is on the core basis, right? And you need to assign, like if you have a 4 cores, then you can have a 2 servers or two cores, and you can cluster them.
Correct.
So like here, like who told you, like we will not going to assign any cores, basically? Like nobody have mentioned that, right? Is this because like MuleSoft license is on the core basis? Like you have to definitely assign the cores to server, right? Without that, you cannot run your application. You cannot run your Mule runtime. Okay. Yeah, so Gaurav, like thanks for a great session. It was a very nice session. Thank you so much for taking the time and giving the session at the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. Thank you so much. Nitish, you can take your part.
Sure, Jackie. Thank you, Gaurav, for a great presentation, great demonstration. Okay, so quickly I'll just move on to quiz part. I'll just share my screen.
I hope Hitesh, you got the answer, right?
Guys, I have shared the URL in the chat box. Okay, hope my screen is visible. So I'll just quickly explain the rules. So guys, we require 2 screens to play the game. One which we are using currently, and the other screen, like your mobile, to play the game. So on the one screen, you will get the question and the options. And from the second screen, you just need to select those colors as an option. There are 6 questions, 10 seconds for each question. So let's start. I'll share the game. Is anyone facing a problem in joining? Because I saw two people just left. I guess they are rejoining.
Guys, one more minute. Nitish, have you give the instruction?
Yeah, yeah, I gave the instructions.
I think Nitish, we can log the game.
Okay, sure. Okay, so I'm locking the game. All the best, guys.